what was it, the 90s, that came out. And what that is about, Brian Weiss is a hypnotherapist. He's much older now, but this was in the prime of his career, and he had a client come to him who I believe just sort of went into past life regression, and he didn't actually have experience doing that. He learned the trade basically with this single client, and the book is about the one client and all of her past life regressions, and it is a fascinating study in a person's path of reincarnation and how many times we incarnate in different cultures, in different kind of lives, and have to deal with different kinds of incidents and traumas. And so what I am experiencing is like that on acid. I am dealing with not one client, but hundreds of colleagues and clients, even my old friends going back to childhood. If I come back together with them, I'm like, oh my God, you too. So this appears to be my life path, is to be a connector and a cross-pollinator. As a healer, I'm a cross-pollinator going around the country. I've worked with around 800 healers in healing events. Our last ensemble in New York had 30-some healers. I think Diane is the only, is there anybody else who was in that ensemble in New York?
There was.
With us? Who is this? Is that Michelle? No.
No. Okay.
Oh my goodness, it's you. Your hair's longer. I wasn't. Hey, darling. What a wild path. This person lived in my artist's warehouse in Brooklyn 20 years ago, before either of us were really professional healers. And now we hook up back in this community 20 years later here. Anyway, all right, so yeah, our last ensemble in New York had 30 to 35 musicians, singers, and energy healers of all different kinds in it for an audience or participants, because they're not an audience. This is a journey. You know, this is like a big medicine ceremony. It's not a sound bath. We go deep when we do our events. And we did it for about 200, 250 people. So that's my experience around this area. And so, all right, now we're rolling. And so thanks for, I'm just going to launch into this. So I'm going to pick people. And so what I'm going to ask is, here's what I want to do is conduct this as a bit of a psychic circle. And it's really easy to do because only the questions I'm going to ask are yes or no. How many people have done either kinesiology, basic muscle testing to get a yes or no, done anything like this for allergies? How many people have been in a psychic circle before? Oh, wow, more people than I was expecting to see hands go up. Have you done a thing where you use just your body to get a yes? Yeah, like that, or you get a no, like that? Because this is what I've done around the country, and what I've found with hundreds of people is that most everybody's bodies, either your hand will tap no, your eyes will go up or down. It might be very subtle. It might be even just a feeling, like you feel depressed or you feel elated, but most of us can get a yes or no. Does that resonate for most everybody in the room? Cool. So what I'm going to do is actually work with people who we've already had the conversation, but I want this to be organic, and especially because it's for the camera, and because I want it not to be just Alan's thing, that like I'm coming up with all these readings for people. I want to actually see what a group feels with the readings that I've gotten in the past, and then a couple that I just got right now. Okay? All right, thank you very much. So I'm just going to see with my hand where we're beginning. Wow. Okay, are you going to follow me? All right, thank you. This is Ty Casey. Ty, thank you very much for being willing to start with this. So, let's all breathe. Now I'm going to say a phrase, living embodiment, but I'm going to leave this kind of open. You could say that the person is channeling, has a strong connection to this timeline or personage, But what Spirit tells me is that I am literally working with people who were in a past life these people. Now, there's not these notable figures throughout history are not embodied in just one person currently on the earth plane. But I don't believe it's many. What I get with a lot of these, it's around 5, 10, maybe 20 humans around the planet are embodying these notable figures throughout history. So as I say this, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've been told that I'm somebody from the Bible days, and there's another person in this room who has the exact same identity, and they were told it before they met me. And we're going to have that conversation in a moment. All right. Let's all breathe. We're going to feel either a yes or a no. Was Ty Casey an emperor by the name of Genghis Khan? I'm going to give you about 30 seconds.
Yes.
Thank you. If you feel like going ahead and speaking.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Wow, good. I think we've got a good container for having this conversation. Thank you. That was the first identity that I got for Ty. And then Spirit said that Ty is a living embodiment of the Hindu god Krishna.
Yes.
Then when Ty and I had a second session and we met in person in a hotel room somewhere here in New Jersey, or somewhere near in New Jersey, I got that Ty was President John F. Kennedy. Really strong energy, isn't it? Thank you. In the Bible days, I've gotten 3 of these so far. Was Ty one of my younger brothers when I was Paul the Apostle, and the Bible's not accurate, not accurate. Yeshua, or Jesus, was my younger brother, then Christos, then Matthew, then Judas. And so I've gotten 3 of these around the country so far, just got one just recently. I'm just going to ask, is or was Ty my brother Christos in the Bible days? Breathing. It's okay if you don't get something to agree with me. Totally cool.
I'm giving you a yes.
About 1 no over there. How many yeses am I getting? Go ahead and speak up. Here's 3 yeses in a row over here. Here's some yeses over here. I think I might be getting more yeses. I'm going to say this is tough, folks, because what I'm doing now, and we're doing this on camera for the very first time, is I'm busting the mythology and the non-truths about history here, about something that is very important in our culture, this religion called Christianity and this book called the Bible, and some stories about some stuff that happened a couple thousand years ago. And I started being told that I was somebody called Paul when I was 42. I'll be 65 in December. I've never read the Bible. I still haven't, but the first time a professional psychic in Manhattan confirmed that I was Paul, her name is Verna Pierce on the Upper West Side. She channels Mary Magdalene. She was channeling Mary Magdalene. She said, yes, you were Paul. And you need to read the esoteric teachings about Paul because the mainstream ones are false. You need to find out what really happened so you don't fuck it up this time. This is what I've been doing now for the last 20 years, is getting the real story by meeting all these other people who appear to have been there and hearing all of their accounts of what they're remembering or being told by other professionals, what they're experiencing in medicine ceremonies or meditations or while fasting. Anyway, this is what I got for Ty, so that was the next thing. Now, I'm going to say a little bit about the Creator Gods thing. Spirit tells me there's 2.3 million humans on the earth plane that resonate as these, quote, creator gods, and that they've incarnated as all this stuff from the beginning of history all the way throughout up till now. And it's kind of like they got cushy deals here on the earth plane. It's like, oh God, if I have to go be human, you know, I want something glammy. You know, I want royalty, and this is what I get most of it, is royalty. But I've been, recently, a lot of the Bible Days thing has been coming up. Now, about the 8 billion humans here on the earth plane, Spirit says every single one of us is a creator being from somewhere in this vast cosmos with all of its star systems. And if you watch, I don't watch closely all of these like David Wilcock and Corey Good on Gaia TV. Anybody watch any of these shows that talk about how many star systems there are, how many billions of planets, how much life there really might be out there? So what Spirit tells me is this little planet is like a reform school for creator beings who needed to be sized down and stop like blowing up each other's worlds and stuff. But so like all 8 billion of us are creator beings from somewhere. And then these 2.3 million humans who Spirit says are creator gods have created, let's say, more than a planet. Maybe like a whole universe or a whole world, or they've created stuff in the arts and sciences. And I've been documenting all of this, and if you want to see any of it, you can email me later and I can share it with you. I'm not posting it much online. I actually have a private group on Facebook called Creator Gods and Psychic Council. And if you contact me later, I'll add you to that and you can look closer at all of this. But the point that I want to make right now is that Spirit says these 2.3 million humans, of which, now I'm asking the question, is it every single person in this room right now? And that's how Spirit's choreographing it. It's every single person in this room. This is like, that's a yes. You see the rigidity in my arm, right? This is literally not me. This is what I do in front of audiences as a psychic or as a channel. So these 2.3 million humans that Spirit calls creator gods incarnate in more than one body at the same time. Or there's crossovers in the timelines. One is dying after another one's just becoming a teenager, and that we incarnate in up to 5 bodies or 6 bodies at the same time. And wild as this sounds, I'm going to ask one about one of mine right now. And let's all breathe. Is Elton John an altar of mine? Boy, I'm telling you, it's like, that's taking me so long to get used to, and it's like I still don't get it, and then I get over it. It's another expression of your oversoul. And I'm like, the bling, he's really fat, he wears a wig, and they're like, it's great music, be grateful. Anyway, all right, so this is an example of an altar. And so everybody in this room has altars like this too, not just me. So now I'm going to go back to Ty Casey, because we already just determined that he might have been JFK. So now I was in a conversation with a 3-way. Ty sent me a client, Nicholas in San Francisco. The 3 of us got on the phone and we matched up a bunch of timelines between both Nicholas and Ty. And what's valuable is when somebody's already gotten something before they get in this conversation with me. So that it's not coming from me as a professional reader, They've gotten it either organically, directly from spirit, or from another reading in the past, all right? So now, I've had at least 200 people come to me, different ways, who were Nazis in World War II. This is my job. Almost all of them are light workers now. Many of them are my dear friends, just lovely people. And this has been our path. And we had this conversation over the phone, Nicholas and Ty and myself. And Nicholas and I had already had the conversation. I was just starting to get it for Nicholas, and he said, "Oh, Alan, I already know this because my girlfriend is Jewish, and she works with somebody like you here in San Francisco, and we have already determined that I was the Nazi. They killed her and her whole family in World War II, and that's why we're back together now." And I was like, wow. And then Ty said, "Alan, I was Heinrich Himmler, Hitler's right hand." Let's all breathe and feel.
Yeah.
Ty and I had already done all the other sessions before Ty gave me this piece of information. Now, I'm going to ask a general question about the people in this room. Let's all breathe, and this is not a yes or no. Approximately what percentage of the participants in this conversation right now were involved in World War II in one way or another? By the way, I don't know the answer to this. I was just told to ask it, that's all. When you get something...
Nurse.
Say again?
I got a nurse.
You mean like for...
Like, I was a nurse.
Oh, for yourself in World War II?
Yeah.
I get an immediate yes. Anybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you were a nurse in World War II. Do you know which country?
I feel like it was Germany.
Boom! And I don't normally do like the boom thing like Emma Lagasse, but gotta have some fun with all of this. So my arm does that to say yes, like that. So I'm getting a strong yes. Now, just because we just talked about the altars thing, I'm gonna flip this. And while we're talking about Nazis in World War II, I'm gonna watch how fun this all is. Okay, you guys? We worked on this several years ago, right after we first met. Y'all, I'd like you to feel, in addition to being a nurse in Nazi Germany, was Diane R. DeBiasi, the Broadway legend, Ethel Merman.
Yeah. Chills.
Thank you. Is this not absolutely fascinating? All right, I'm being told just to go randomly with one I just got a few minutes ago, because now we're going to demonstrate one that characters from our fables and stories are absolutely based on real people. And these real people were often portrayed by these creator gods in order to have the plot lines manifested on the earth plane by really strong characters with a lot of energy. See what I mean? Something like that. So do you mind if I do? What's your name again?
Emily.
Emily. And Emily, what do you do again? Because I love it. You do Qigong and
Wing Chun.
Wing Chun. And don't you just love? Anyway, all right. So as I was walking through the room, I saw out in the woods, long dress, and then this cone with this material, lightweight, kind of flowing down. What does that look like to you? What time period? Renaissance or earlier than that?
King Arthur.
King Arthur, you're in the right realm, absolutely. Now, so this was what I was playing with the image, and then I really started getting like King John and Robin Hood, like that really strong feel, if that seems accurate. I was like, I feel like I'm in a very specific storyline here. I think it's Robin Hood. And then I went, well, no. And then I thought, it's yes. And I finally got the name and I said, Maid Marian. Feel that, please, and let me know if I'm anywhere on the right track.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something Maid Marian about you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ty Casey. Thank you, Diane. Diane, did we get other things for you that I should mention? Is there something other like royalty or something that we should?
Yeah, you were talking about that, and I feel it was French.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you said nurse, France popped in my head.
Okay, so I feel like it was, and I'm glad you said that because it felt French, but in Germany. That's what it felt like.
You're a French nurse in Germany.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Spirit's telling me. Oh, John. Can we?
Yes.
Thank you. Because you didn't answer when I gave you this. I just got it the other day, but we're gonna go for it and find out.
Okay.
All right now. So I've been asking John privately about a bunch of, because he's not currently on Facebook in the private group. He's just not tapping in, and so I've been asking him privately about a bunch of posts in the private group about these past life readings, and then I realized I haven't asked anything about John. And I was about all these other people. And they gave me a capital D and then an apostrophe or some, it was just something French. I thought, something French. De fin, de something. You know, like that. And then they said, he's a writer, or, something, philosopher, something like that. All I put in was French author, and the word popped up, Descartes. Descartes. Does anybody know exactly how that's pronounced? Descartes. Descartes. Everybody's head is nodding. And is this accurate?
Yes.
Oh, you give a yes too. One of my psychic colleagues gives a yes on this. Thank you very much. All right. Now, can I mention the other one from Vernon, New Jersey, from Honest from that night?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay, we're going to let that go. I will totally pass on things that people tell me to. All right, okay. Can we come over here? You cool? All right. Lovely to see you. This is my friend Aiden, who we met in Colorado 2 years ago. I said I work around the country. And so will you come over here with me, Tim? All right, so now. Aiden, and now this is wild. We're going to go with the Bible days, because this is crazy. I was meeting two people that I was going to do events with in Denver and Boulder, and where these people wanted to meet was a raw food restaurant, a raw vegan restaurant in Boulder, and this is absolutely a big component of the Bible days. How many people are familiar with the Gospel of the Essenes and the Essene Church, which is known for its raw vegan practices? And the Gospel of the Essenes taught that what was really going on with the Christians is they were teaching people how to clean their bodies out, stop eating all the meat and drinking all the wine, eat more raw fruits and vegetables, basically go more towards raw veganism. And that's where all that came from. So the fact that we even met in this restaurant, that was part of the little story that I'm going to tell you right now. So I'm walking into this raw vegan restaurant. All I'm doing is meeting this woman and this man who I'm doing events with, and they're standing there with Aiden. And I have not met A-D-I-N, and I've never met Aiden before. And I walk up and I look at him and I think, bing, Bible days. And looked at the two of them and I said, this guy's was in the Bible days. And Aiden's face, he's used to it now, but at the time his eyes just went like this. And he looked at us, the three of us, and how old are you now?
26.
Weren't you, this was what, maybe 3 years ago? You're like 23 years old. And he's just meeting me. And he goes, he just met the other two, and he goes, well, I've already been told by like a professional psychic that I was Paul the Apostle. And my two friends look at me like, oh, dude, like that's your gig. Like I'm like gonna be jealous and like start a bitch fight in the vegan restaurant. And my arm shot right up in the air, and they said, absolutely. Yes, he is. So now I'm kind of cheating here, but you guys take a breath. Does Aidan resonate as also being a living embodiment of Paul the Apostle?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, a year later, I'm working on a slightly different level, and then something else comes, because I was working with Maggie. So Aidan was, at the time, he introduced me to a woman that he was with named Maggie, and we were having the same kind of conversations. And with Maggie, and she was like 21, I mean, but wild, these young light workers walking into their path, you know, so young compared to me. I was standing at a bar having a beer at that age, you know what I mean? You know, so Maggie, we got that she was the creator of the chess game here, like duality. Or is it not duality itself? The chess game. Like that totally resonates. And then bing, I got this for Aidan. Now, what did your parents originally name you? What's the spelling?
A-D-I-N.
That is the original spelling? A-D-I-N?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm mistaken about it. I thought okay, that's close. Yes or no? Is Aidan the creator god of the Garden of Eden?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're good. You're good. Did you immediately feel there was something up in the air trying to answer the question? I was getting like my head was being pushed down. I thought that the air's thick. There's something not right. Thank you for at least clarifying. There's more than one, and this is a multidimensional reality, and sometimes there's multiples of a number of things. Like, you know, you can argue about, people will tell different stories about different timelines, like the Bible days or stuff, because there are parallel universes, and these fabulous like television networks stealing plot lines from sitcoms and putting, you know, we'll just make the family a different ethnicity and they live in a different city and let's lift all of their plot lines. You've seen, right? So it's like that. Like we did the Bible days over here, so that's why we might get something different. But we did people basically get a yes for this about Aidan? Thank you so much. Thank you very much, and it's good to see you here. Now I'm just going to go right behind to Carla, who I did a session with Carla maybe 4 years ago, and I thought that this was a wacky thing to say, that this was coming to me. I said, you appear to be a queen of an extraterrestrial race right now. This is your earth body. You are a queen, I believe. It appears to be the Anunnaki race, because I'm seeing the comet Nibiru, and I don't study any of this stuff. Boy, I'm like the blank fool, and I just get what I get. But I'm shown this comet Nibiru, and that the Anunnaki use it, as do the cat beings that are kind of like humanoids with cat heads. And I got that Carla is a queen of the Anunnaki race currently, right now. Let's breathe. Let me, if that resonates for you. We won't go much, we're almost done with this, promise. Getting a yes? Okay, so this is what Carla said to me. Can I say it to you? So Carla goes, can I hear your accent for a moment? She said, oh, Alan, thank you. Because I was just having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine, where I said, I know that I am a queen from an extraterrestrial race. I just don't know which one.
I'm getting the whites.
The what?
The whites.
There's some accuracy in that too. All right, so notice that the readings go all the way from, you know, royalty to extraterrestrial to, all right, now, what's your name? Julie. This is so good. I just started seeing machine guns, But it was like Chicago mobster. It was the ones with the round barrel, you know, like the old. And I thought, is this real? And they went, no. Now, how many people have seen the film Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon? Remember this? No? So very good. Okay. They were showing me the movie because it has a lot of that mobster, and even with the people being killed in it. That's the plot line. And they said, and they kept having me turn and say, "Some like it hot," over and over to this total stranger. And I was like, okay. Here for healing. Some guy in front of me, "Some like it hot," and I kept repeating it, thinking, I think maybe she was somebody from the film, but it wasn't really like resonating for me like that. And I said, you weren't Marilyn Monroe, because Marilyn Monroe was in our last ensemble in New York. Kelly Keefe, she'll talk about, we've been, so I was looking, and then Julie said,
I got a reading a few days ago, and I was doing a past life regression. And what came to me was Veronica, and it was Hollywood in that time frame. So I was thinking Veronica Lake.
breathe,
Yeah.
feel. Am I getting yeses? Thank you, Veronica Lake. Now, so what I get from this is that the creator gods throughout history, the first choice was royalty, because it was just super cushy. You had great wealth, you were protected in a castle, you had power over everybody, very influential, all of that. And then, in the last century or two, lots more revolutions, lots more beheadings, lots of overthrows, and that kind of royalty was becoming not hip, not popular. And at the turn of the last century, something else replaced that royalty, and it was on a more global scale, and it was the moving image. It was the cinema. It was the movies, Hollywood. That was the new royalty. And that's when the creator God said, oh, if I'm going down there to the earth plane again, no, I'm doing Hollywood or TV. It's like that. So this is all the stuff that I've been documenting. Is there anybody else that I should have had this conversation with on camera before? Oh wait, Roland BuddhaHawk. Roland.
Where is Roland?
He's over there in the corner. Okay, now I just met. Thank you, Diane, for.
Allie, can I just whoever wants to introduce themselves later on, please do so, because I know that we really need.
We'll do that, and I promise we're going to close this in less than 5 minutes. Thank you so much for your patience. This is going to be invaluable to getting this either to entertainment industry people or to other people, even to people like Brian Weiss, to send this to say, hey, help us document this and bring this, figure out what the meaning of all this is. Why are we gathering together like this? Who were we? Why were these people now? What are we up to now? And what is the significance of it? Diane introduced me to Tim and Roland just last week. And so Roland did a healing on me. I've got a terrible skin condition, and it was just out of hand. And Roland, it was 50% better, and one day 80% better. Now in the last 2 days, it's just flared up like crazy because of this circle about to happen. How many people have had an illness that gets like really worse right before a healing event because it's like coming up to come out of the body? So Roland, you're a powerful healer. And I was sitting there with him, and I started hearing, actually, they just used my voice and said, you were Handel.
That's a yes.
Everybody
That's a
breathe.
Yes. No, I'm getting chills.
Yes.
Thank you. Everybody's getting chills.
Yes.
Now, Roland's really casual response was like, huh? Yeah. Didn't know that one. That was like his casual response. Now, Tim, would you like to turn the camera on yourself for a second?
No.
Just for a moment. Just for a second. So, also, I gotta say, I met with Tim right the day before I met with Roland. We did not do formal healing work on each other. I was a little bit better the next day without us even working on each other. I simply felt better in all ways, like energetically, and I think my condition began lifting. Then I went to Roland. So while we were meeting, what I got was this image, and I didn't get the name until I went home later, but I saw this huge black man from the early 20th century who had this amazing speaking and singing voice. He was really well known, like in the African American entertainment, as kind of like a preacher singer, and his name was Paul Robeson. Let's all breathe.
Yes.
Yes.
Did we get anything about Egypt that night? Did that come up? Or is that happening right now?
No.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, seeing a lot of gold on the throne, and pyramids. Let me know if this resonates. Pharaoh or something along that
Yes.
line in Egypt. I'm getting this is a current a lot, and I need some people to see this on camera, who are they're freaking out over the fact that they've already been told this, and then I come along and tell them again. And they're like having to try and figure out what the meaning is. Why were they Egyptian pharaohs? And so you're like the fourth one recently. This is how spirit works with us in patterns. And they're literally having me bow to you, and I have no idea why, but I'm going to go with it. Thank you, Tim. I'm feeling a lot of energy right now. Will you all breathe with me for a moment? And let's clear something up right out of the room. All right. Oh. Jill, we've got, and one more, this will be the last one because, all right, will you turn the camera on Jill? Jill and I are just meeting this evening through John DeBiasi, and Jill, let's see, whew, let me breathe here. They don't want me to say it at all. They would simply want you to say it. Yes?
About
Bible days.
Okay, I've been told that I was the apostle James the Greater.
Everyone breathe.
So you guys now know why I love that movie The Way. Now we know.
My body did an immediate yes, and it's doing it again right now. Look at this kind of action. And so I just let spirit do whatever they do through me. It's Kundalini is just going wild through me right now. It's very strong. So this is all very good energy, and sometimes it can literally just rock your body. All right, thank you very much, Jill. Is there anything else that we should say, or is that it? Not the other stuff, but was there another past life thing?
I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I had been told at one point that I was an aspect of Archangel Michael's twin flame, a K of faith.
I don't even know who that is, and I'm immediately getting
Yes.
really strong. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys, if I don't do this, I would be ripping myself off. I'm gonna ask a couple about myself that might be the reason that all y'all are circling around me. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for being here.
Bless you.
Thank you, everyone. I just can't
Bless
say thank
you.
you enough. This is such a blessing.
All right. Was I Paul the Apostle?
Yes.
Yes.
Was I Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was I George Washington?
I got a note of that.
Yeah, I get a note too.
Keep going. I need to hear this. It's good. It's useful. Because this one's more. It's a trickier one. But they've been playing games with me, giving me
I think
clues.
you were another president, though.
What?
Woodrow Wilson, maybe?
That's possible. I don't know the numbers. Who's 3 or 4?
Okay, and then I'm gonna let that one go because that one's not a big deal to me. I'm gonna ask
Jefferson,
a couple
Madison.
more.
Jefferson, then Madison.
Yep.
What?
I'm telling you, who the third and fourth presidents are.
Of course they have.
The Lincoln one is the one that I've really been working with for years, and I went to high school with the guy who was John Wilkes Booth. You know, I mean, I could keep on going. I mean, there's so many people around me who were involved in the assassination. It's cuckoo. You know, I mean, we could give up. That one I've been dealing with for a long time. Okay, was I Mahatma Gandhi?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there a couple or a few people in the room who were with me when I was Gandhi?
Can number 7.
Wow. All right. Thank you. Is it I said every human being is the creator of a planet somewhere in these cosmos, right? And this is a little old reform school. Is the reason that I'm sort of in a focal point with all of these light workers, is this my little old planet?
Ask that again.
Yes.
Huh?
Ask that again. I'm sorry.
Did I create this planet along with my brother? Is it me and my brother? Did we create this planet? My twin? It's me and my twin, right?
Yeah.
And it took the two of us. That's what I was told recently. They said, no, I took the two of you to do this mess. All right. I think I should stop there. Bless you all. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you, Tim. Thank you.